YouTube. I am very excited to talk about the comic book I'm about to talk about right now. There are very few times that I catch on early to something that grows into something big. And I personally think that this is going to be a major franchise, and I've seen nobody talking about it. I am talking about Image slash Skybound's Blood and Thunder. It is an intergalactic kind of adventure story featuring a half alien bounty hunter and her sentient gun, and it is just full of excitement. And one thing that I loved from the very beginning is that they took their time with lore building, and they gave you just enough to get you to the next book, but you never felt like the cliffhanger was unearned. And they even did something a couple of issues in to establish the world and the hierarchy thereof by taking a couple of issues away from our main protagonist to establish what she was up against and establish the context that she was going to face for the rest of the arc, which is something I haven't seen in comic books before, where you just take the protagonist out and literally focus on another person on another planet. And this one, I'm not going to give away spoilers because if you watch this channel, you know I don't do that. I'll give you a basic gist of the story and where we are, but I don't want to take away the enjoyment of discovery, which is the best part of comic books. But if you can go back and get the first couple series and a couple of trade paperbacks. But this is the beginning of a brand new arc, and we start this book like we did the last book, on a terraformed asteroid in a prison ran by the IPPF. And there we met a character who we thought was going to be our main antagonist, but he was known as the Prisoner for a good 5 or 6 issues. He actually no, even longer than that. This is issue number 13. But yeah, for most of the series, he was just simply known as the Prisoner. And our main protagonist, I cannot pronounce her last name, but her first name, but her last name is Bledsoe. Her and Thunder were traipsing around the galaxy trying to find this guy and trying to get inside his head and find out what he was really trying to do, because she was told that he was after a weapon. But what she was told and what she was seeing in pursuit of him were two different things. And we come to find out that this indestructible monster that we've been told to think of as a monster is actually more of an intellectual who is simply trying to find peace and trying to find a way from humans, because humans have, expanded and colonized beyond Earth and have really used science as a religion to oppress the rest of the galaxy. And so there were lots of deep themes in that first arc, and we find out that the discrimination even goes to our protagonist, who is half exo, which is, the, I guess, human term for non-human. And she gets discriminated against, and the reason why she's a bounty hunter is because even though her adopted father was a member of the IPVF, she couldn't be a member. She got drummed out of the academy due to discrimination. And so this is her way of trying to work her way back in. But she ends up becoming an enemy of the system. And we find out that the prisoner's name was, I know I can't pronounce it, so I'll spell it, and then I will try to pronounce it. Desmouix. I think that would be Desmond. But he was looking for this plant that would give him the ability to teleport to somewhere in the galaxy, and he eventually found it and disappeared from this galaxy, so he is off, presumably safe. And in that very cell that the prisoner was locked in, we find our main protagonist. And you can see here that she is preparing to not have a long stay in there. And we discovered that while Desmois was locked in there, he wrote messages on the bottom of his bunk bed, and to the next prisoner. And she discovered these messages and found out it was a plan for escape. And this thing really takes off. I would say the first story arc was really about lore building, world building, and identifying who the real antagonist was, and Bledsoe finding her place in this world. And from the looks of it, this new arc is going to be more about discovery. I mean, more about action than discovery. And then I got, I'm not going to give away, like I said, any plot points. That's as far as I'm going to go with this. But trust me, I will say it's very action-packed. And at the end here, the author, he wrote, a rather lengthy post here. And it's, once again, this is Benito, greeting you from the other side to welcome you to an all-new story arc of Blood and Thunder. The first year of the book traced Blood's pursuit of Desmois across multiple planets, but we are done with that for now. We will see if will we see Desmois again? I suppose that depends on how well Yara took care of him when they got wherever they were going. This new arc focuses on Blood herself, Blood, who is Bledsoe, as prisoner and fugitive, as well as unwittingly something of a folk hero. We will not be following the same variations on the theme that we did in the first year in terms of moving planet to planet, though we visit a large number of places we haven't been before. Will Blood even make it out of the prison satellite? Will she reunite with Thunder? That is the sentient gun. Hopefully by now you understand I will straight up do this series without the title characters. Maybe this book is about Middletech now, or maybe it's about the disemboweled corpse of Dr. Richter from Marius 9. And it goes on from there about, what they plan on doing in building anticipation for this next year. And so it looks like they're doing an arc a year, and in one of my reviews, I even suggested that this is going to be a more expansive universe and something that could easily expand to a television series or a movie franchise. And the actual writers of the book thanked me for my review on the YouTube channel, and they confirmed as much when I connected with them on Blue Sky, that they have big plans to go beyond the terraformed asteroid and beyond Blood and Thunder and Desmois, and something that's going to be real big. So this is a book I don't see you regretting getting in early. Number 13 is the book 1 of this new arc. You can get the first 12 books in trade paperback right now from Image Skybound. I don't think you'll be disappointed. This is one of the books, when I order books, I have books that I read immediately, that I read soon, and some I will catch up on. This goes to the top of my immediate pile every month. So that's it. Let me know what you guys think, if you guys are following along in this book, or if it's something that you like. If you're into sci-fi, let me know what sci-fi books you are following along with. And if you would like to help grow this channel, you can buy me a coffee with the QR code on the screen right now. But most importantly, I want to thank you for watching. Hit that like button, subscribe, share, tell your friends, tell your family, tell your nerd friends that you want to be on the nerd stuff. I will try to bring them over to the light side. Anyway, you guys be easy. I'll see you next time. Until then, keep reading them books. I will. I'm out.